The following is brought to you in part by Universal Remote Controls, providing total control from one room to the whole house.
Welcome back to the International Builders Show. Heather Burdett with NextGenHomeTV.com. I'm here with John Mix from Carrier. You are one of the sponsors of our smart home that we've got out on the lot, and I've actually seen your devices in the home. But what is this? I didn't notice that part on our demo outside. What's going on here?
Well, Heather, this is a ductless system, or sometimes referred to as a duct-free system. This particular device is the condensing unit that would be found outdoors from a home. In contrast to what people may typically be used to, this unit is small, compact, it uses variable speed compression and fan systems, and the big differentiator is the ductless aspect. A traditional home uses air ducts to move the conditioned air around a home. That does very well for larger square footage, the typical American dynamic home. But in many applications, say a small square footage, like an apartment, or maybe there's an add-on bonus room where you don't want to go add a lot of cost to redesign the ductwork. Or maybe it's a high efficiency home where it's very tightly insulated, and so the amount of heating and cooling needed is a lot less than normal. These ductless systems can provide a very cost-effective advantage to a traditional ducted system. It also, when you couple that with the very high efficiencies of the variable speed compression, the variable speed air system, you can get efficiency levels of 20 SEER or more as a very cost affordable option. So this is only half the system. If we walk around to the inside, we'll see the other magic and the real differentiator that looks different.
All right, well, let's go. Okay, so this is the part that I've seen in the home that we've got out on the lot, sort of our display unit. So,
right.
And tell me about this part.
So this is an example of one of several different options we offer. This would be mounted in a home up on a wall. And in contrast to a traditional ducted system where the indoor equipment may be mounted in the basement or an attic or in a closet, moving air around through a duct system, this pulls air in from the top, conditions it through the coil, and blows it out through the bottom in the home.
I see, gotcha.
So if you have a home for, let's take a retrofit example where somebody may be using a window air conditioner unit, or maybe a propane mounted heater in the floor, those are okay devices, but they're not very energy efficient. It could be both replaced with this very energy efficient unit mounted on the wall, and the only thing that has to go through the wall are two small refrigerant lines, no ductwork that needs to be added, a lot more cost-effective installation. So if you think about an apartment, 500 square feet, 1,000 square feet, it can be much more cost-effective to use a ductless system with only one or two indoor components with only one outdoor system. Now, you might be used to, typically in a home, you have a thermostat on the wall to control the equipment. That can be done with ductless, but most of the time people use something that looks like this.
Whoa.
While this may look like a TV remote, and it can be carried around with you like a TV remote, it is actually a controller for the ductless system, like a thermostat on a wall. So you have to point it at the device or control it just like a TV remote with the buttons and control it. But this is one of the flexible features of a ductless system because it can move around with the occupant, whether it's the couch or the kitchen or the dining room table, and measure actual temperature and conditions right there at that space.
Well, I love it. So I get it for smaller home use. For example, you know, our tiny town that we've got out on the lot here at IBS. We are showing it in the redefined smart home because this is a device that helps us actually redefine the smart home. It's not just about automation and security and media and so forth. It's about smart devices that work for you in different ways. I love the idea, but I do have a question. If I've got, say I live in New York, you know, and I've got an old brownstone, I've got an apartment in an old brownstone, and I'm on the 4th floor. Is that something with the outside equipment that would be feasible?
That's a perfect application because in an old brownstone, for example, maybe there is no ductwork run throughout the home.
Okay.
It would be very expensive to tear up the walls and install ductwork and disruptive to the occupants versus being able to run small refrigerant lines up and uniquely condition just the zones that you want to condition, just the floor that you want to condition with minimal or literally no disruption to the other occupants.
I love it. That's absolutely perfect. Well, John, thank you so much for taking the time to show us this fantastic device today.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks. Once again, from the International Builders Show, Heather Burdett for NextGenHomeTV.com.